Marion County's 2017 Teacher of the Year is
Diego Fuentes, Hillcrest School!
I think that coming here to this school on a good day, on a medium day, it's such an overwhelming experience. It's a beautiful thing, and when you experience the kids really engaged, which they are in music generally, you know, it's hard to not feel, and I think that when they came in and they watched, which was, I mean, that was along in the process. I think that they picked up on that. They saw actually, and I will use the word love, and you could see and feel it in the music and in the participation and in the kids for one another and for what we're doing. How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah? You're doing yeah? It's an amazing place here, and when we talking about the students being challenging, there's another side, and I knew this with music and doing music in the classroom, in the non-music classroom, the responsiveness of the students to music. It truly is neurologically music, you know, it really kind of, it's all over the brain. So kids that don't have the language, you know, functioning, and then even movement, when you bring music into the picture, everything is elevated. So I would say doubly so. That was it's just a beautiful thing to see, and to see the responsiveness of the students. It's an amazing thing. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon to you. I feel in a sense at an advantage with music, because like I was saying before, music covers like the brain. It's so much of so many different areas that I can address if there's a little bit of movement, you know, because there's some kids that they're non-ambulatory, they're in chairs, and they can't, some of them almost have no movement in their arms, or very little, and are nonverbal. But you get music going, and all of a sudden there's a motivation. Is even the simplest tune, you'll see, you know, a head will orient towards the sound, you know, and students that you don't normally see that with, and happiness, you'll see a smile. So the communication aspect is huge, and we can work from that, you know, and bring out language, bring out communication, bring out physicality, all of it. So I get to do everything. Big Mac filet fish, quarter pounder French fry, icy coke, big shake, sundaes and apple pies. Where's the clapping hand? There he is. Thank you. I will write the goofiest songs because I know that one kid is able to articulate no. He just says no. He doesn't say much else. And so I write a song all about no, so he can give me that. And then he can do nah, I'll change it to nah and knee. So there's it's neurological development, and it's different than, you know, obviously standard education, but it's the beginning. Thursday, sounds like Thursday. I've written a Thursday song, and I write it with their levels in mind. So, and I incorporate, we got pictures, you know, like pictures with the words on them. And I show them. So there's a recognition, even if it's picture recognition for those that are able to see, that's a huge step right there. Then we incorporate the words. Reading, that's part of music. It's part of the curriculum here, and I try to be supportive of that. Thursday, sounds like Thursday. Thursday, learn a new word day. Thursday, my cat purrs day. Thursday, when she's happy. Good.
If we're teaching in an age where we're competing with video games and cell phones and TV all the time, so to have students come into a classroom and sit and face the front and listen to a teacher lecture, it doesn't work anymore. So I have a teaching style that's very collaborative, very transformative. I like to move my classroom around and do different things, different activities, different games, and I like to utilize a lot of technology.
Where are you going to fire? Okay, what is it? 2-2. 2-2.
No.
Yes. All right.
This is the human form of battleship, and at first glance, yes, it doesn't look educational, but once you see it in action, you'll see that the classroom is set up into 2 grids, so it provides the students practice with coordinate planes, which is what we did in math in 5th grade. It's a 5th grade math concept. I asked the kids different review questions. For example, today we will be studying or reviewing animal adaptations, animal and plant adaptations. So you'll see the kids have to know their stuff. They have to know the concept that we're reviewing, because in order for them to fire, in order for them to try to hit one of the kids over here and sink that battleship, they have to get the question right. Otherwise they can't fire a shot, which they're not really firing a shot, but they pick a coordinate, and if there's a student at that coordinate pair, then that student is hit, so they have to sit down and they're out. What do we got?
5-3.
Okay, 5-3. Hold in. He's done. Yes! I am a Harry Potter fan, and a lot of my 5th graders are Harry Potter fans as well. So that was one of the most exciting things for them when they enter the classroom at the beginning of the year, is they see all of the Harry Potter stuff around the classroom. But my classroom management style is very much modeled after Hogwarts, which is the school in the novels. And so I split the kids. I have 20 5th graders, and so I put them into different houses, and I put 5 students in each house. So there's Gryffindor, there's Slytherin, there's Hufflepuff, and there's Ravenclaw. And based on those houses, they earn points on behavior. So they can earn points for good behavior, or they can lose points for negative behavior, which is, it's similar to how it works in the books, right? I mean, Harry Potter loses points all the time when Professor Snape sees him doing something he doesn't like.
Mr. Potter.
My favorite professor is Snape, but I'm nothing like him. I guess if I had to pick a professor, I would probably say McGonagall. Maybe a mixture of Professor McGonagall and Professor Dumbledore, because I try to be inspirational like Dumbledore, and I try to have the wisdom. I know I'm young and I have a lot to learn, but I try to be wise and to teach the kids how to be good people. So I feel like I have that quality in common with Dumbledore, but I also am very carefree and loving like Professor McGonagall. So I don't know if I could choose just one.
Bellevue High School will host the Girls State Weightlifting Championships this week. Thursday, 2 Vanguard students will compete in the 2A finals, while Friday, Lake Weir sends 11 girls to the 1A competition. Action begins each day at 10 a.m.
Today is the 100th day of school, and our kindergarten teachers decided that it would be great to have a career day. So we invited community members in from various walks of the community. We've had corrections officers, we've had a nurse, our food service workers, we've been graciously granted the opportunity to interact with some of the people from within Marion County Public Schools, and they've come in to show our kindergarten students the tools that they use and the jobs that they do for us in and around our community and our school.
I need my tape measure to measure them to make sure I get them all the same height, or the desk is going to be all wobbly.
One of the important things when Miss Fuller and I were putting this together and trying to decide who and what and why was we knew that at this point in time in kindergarten, part of their curriculum in social studies is learning about community helpers and the tools they use, and also, you know, helping our kids know that if you do this and you read and you do your math here in school, you too can be a community helper just like the people we've had here today. One of the other things it does is even in any situation, if there's an emergency and Gracie, the police or the fire department dog, comes to their house, they know what's going on and they understand that Gracie's there to help them and for them not to be afraid. And they've learned a lot of different things, and just things with how nurses take your blood pressure, for example, and using that blood pressure cuff is something that's not to be afraid of. It's something that's there to help you.
Oh, you are in perfect shape. Perfect. That's excellent.
When children touch something and they hear it and they can see how it's used, that impacts their learning greatly. When children come from backgrounds where they don't have those experiences outside of the house, bringing that to them in a school setting is a safe place for them to explore, for them to learn, and for them to understand that I too can do this myself when I become bigger and get out of school.
Other teachers at other schools had done a Kindy 500 at the end of the year, and we decided for the middle of the year, since it was around the 100th day, that we would make it the Kindy 100. we had the kids do a project with box cars, and they had to get a cardboard box and create their own creation of a car to be used for our Kindy 100 to parade around, and make it a car that they could use for our drive-in movie theater as their reward. We basically just told them it had to include a cardboard box and basic car parts, wheels, steering wheel, front and rear lights, those kinds of things. So we got things that were hand-drawn pictures on a plain cardboard box, all the way to monster trucks and Batmobiles and flower cars and all kinds of things that were very elaborate. They built them at home. It was a project to get them to use resources around their house. They could use recycled materials or paper plates, things that were already around their home that they wouldn't necessarily have to go out and buy specific supplies for. We gave them a little over a month to work on it so they could take their time with their parents and work around work schedules and things like that, kind of have a little bonding thing with moms and dads and stuff. We invited the parents to come and watch the parade portion, and we staged them out in the middle of the courtyard so they could see all the kids coming through, and we actually had a lot of parent support. It was very nice to see the parents involved in helping with the cars and grandparents and things like that, and then to come out and see their kids, you know, being so proud of the work that they had made with them. Like with any, you know, driving experience, there's always some people that are too worried about the radio and other things going on. So we had a couple of little crashes, a couple that their car became quite heavy during the parade portion, and so they weren't able to carry it the whole way. So we had to kind of help them along, and but they all made it through, and they were all happy to have done it. I think it was a great idea. I think the kids had a great experience, and the parents had a great experience with it, and I think it's something that we can definitely make a tradition here.